Shodan Boyd, and I've been a member of this group ever since it started, and I've enjoyed it very much. I'm glad it's still going. Our founder, Bonnie Sarkeesian White, is not here, and I wish she were. She's been here once, I think, since we've been in this building, but maybe she'll start coming regularly again. I'm going to say announcements. I've got one. Tomorrow night, beginning promptly at 6:30 p.m., there'll be the Tinney Chapel Music Night, 2 miles south on 312 to 4620. Turn left, quarter of a mile, and you come to the Tinney Chapel United Methodist Church, founded February 1900 by Ambrose Tinney, my grandfather. And the first, that's a free event. We've been doing this free for family entertainment in our 7th year. Starts at 6:30, ends at 8. 90 minutes of free family entertainment. Show up if you have nothing more pressing on your calendar. The joint Doc will be, Ken mentioned he plays guitar for him. He plays washed up bass for me. And sometimes he even plays baritone ukulele. Woohoo! I got 2 points tonight, and one of them is, I just mentioned, my grandfather is Ambrose Tinney, founded Tinney Chapel. He's not a preacher, he was a farmer, cotton farmer, who realized that every community needed a church, and after he got here from Alabama in 1886, he, over time, decided that since there wasn't any church in that community, he and his sons built the building in February 1900, and then they had itinerant preachers, Methodist preachers, the Methodist church, and Methodist preachers came and went. The first preacher was named Blackwell, and they first called it Blackwell's Chapel, but in 1928 it affiliated with the Winsboro City Methodist Church, and they changed the name to Tinney Chapel in honor of Ambrose Tinney, who founded it. And we just this past Saturday had the annual Tinney Family Reunion, for which I'm the coordinator. And so in honor of Ambrose, I'm going to read a piece of lyrical prose. This isn't technically a poem, but it's lyrical prose, which isn't that far off. And this is a little tribute to him, to my grandfather, Ambrose Tinney. Ambrose Tinney, the financial father of our church, and in a somewhat less obvious manner, the spiritual father of Tinney Chapel, was my grandfather. My brother Tommy and I grew up in the house that was still home to several members of Ambrose's large and extended family when he died in 1924. At the intersection of what is now County Road 4620 and Farm Market Road 312. Not only did I grow up without knowing Ambrose personally, but my mother, Dolly Fay, his youngest child, was only 11 years old when Ambrose died. So she never really interacted with Ambrose on an adult-to-adult basis. I still struggle with getting to know Ambrose these many years later, and lament the number of times I allowed questions to go unasked. I know from conversations and interviews, however, that he was a strict father, a stern taskmaster, which tell me that he did what he could to instill an ethical worldview upon his offspring. Uncle Ed Tinney said the Tinney children were not allowed to buy fireworks even if they had the money to do so. Uncle Tom Tinney said that Ambrose had only to clear his throat to bring order to a child bordering on misbehavior. When Uncle Dave Tinney died in 1931, before I was born also, the newspaper account said Dave Tinney was, quote, the son of a noted family. Ambrose apparently dared to live up to a value system that challenged even his own pioneer panache and sense of frontier justice. That he met his own challenge appears abundantly clear if one is to judge by the recollections of his descendants who have chosen to go on the record with their memories. For instance, Louis Newton, another grandson of Ambrose, liked to tell of listening to his grandfather read from the Bible, and perhaps because of Ambrose's prominent Old Testament beard, believed that Moses must have looked a lot like Ambrose. To recall Ambrose as a road overseer to the county's precinct commissioner, it's clear that he was regarded as a leader, someone who was responsible and accountable, because someone with a sense of community involved. It also meant that he was, to an extent, in the public eye and a possible target for personal or political criticism, although I've never heard anything of the sort. My guess is that our church's Ambrose Tinney was about a man about